Hello, everyone, and welcome into yet another episode of the Strive Sports Podcast. This is episode number 8 of season number 1. Delighted to be back with you after a little bit of a break last week. If you're new to the show, welcome. As always, I am your esteemed host, Keegan Hartman. You can find me and follow me on my social platforms at Keego Amigo via Instagram, at Keegan Hartman1 via Twitter. Make sure you go find my socials and give me a follow. Always posting new podcast content and some graphic design content on there for you. So just some ideas to feed the soul if you're into the creative realm, trying to get some inspiration. Also, I'd be remiss if I did not mention that this show is rapidly growing and right before my very eyes, honestly. Now it's slow growth, but it's growth. Be a part of that growth, be a part of the conversation, and you can find us and follow us at Strive Sports Mo on Twitter, at Strive Sports Mo on TikTok, and Strive Sports Productions via Instagram. All right, enough of that. Let's really get into the reason why we're here. I've been hitting home runs and batting 1,000 apparently, especially in the USFL, and hey, man, the hits keep on coming. Episode 8, we're going to keep the steam rolling. Ladies and gentlemen, I am extremely excited for this next guest I have on the podcast tonight. Growing up in Glenville, Ohio, my esteemed guest, Mr. Jonathan Newsome, would attend Glenville High School, playing under arguably one of the greatest high school coaches to have ever coached, not only in the state of Ohio, and mind you, a recent National High School Hall of Fame inductee, Coach Ginn Sr., but a 3-star recruit in the 2009 recruiting class. We'll get into Coach Ginn Sr. in a moment, but to finish the intro, a 3-star recruit in the 2009 recruiting class, Jonathan Newsome, ranked as the 21st ranked recruit in the state of Ohio. And, fun fact, Johnny, just to bring you into the conversation here, man, I was perusing back through the state of Ohio's 2009 recruiting class, their rankings on 247 Sports. Obviously, you've been through the recruiting process. Different different outlets have different rankings for athletes. But I had found on 247 you would rank 21st. And if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if you've perused any.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. It's so many different, books and magazines. The highest ranking I got was number 9 in the state. So I do remember it being number 9 in like the Ohio magazine.
Well, I
number
will.
9. You feel number 9.
Oh, okay. So that okay. I had no idea though that in your state, in the state of Ohio, so in 247 Sports, they ranked you at 21. Okay. I had no idea that Luke Kuechly, who was obviously everybody knows Luke Kuechly if they're NFL fans or football fans, obviously a former linebacker for the Carolina Panthers. I never knew that he was from Ohio. I think he had played at St. Xavier High School.
Yeah.
No idea whatsoever. That's crazy.
He was always a dog. We played against St. X my junior year. And he was all over the field, bro. He was a dog there. So St. X is a big program. But yeah, Luke Kuechly was in my class.
Put some respect on your own damn name, because he was ranked 28th and you were ranked 21st in that class. So you know what? Hey, that would be something.
I try to tell folks I got a little bit of a pedigree with this thing, but it's I don't brag, man. I just let the past talk.
Exactly.
Let the film speak for itself.
It was funny because you had mentioned in an interview that you did probably in like 2014, would have been your senior season at Ball State. The media department did like an interview with you. I know we talked about this during the season, but you said in that interview that majority, because you had attended Glenville High School just in the suburbs of Cleveland, I want to say.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry. I'm wrong. I'm wrong. Correct me. I apologize.
It ain't the suburbs. I'm gonna tell you that. But I mean, it's a neighborhood in the inner city of Cleveland. So yeah, but it's inner city Cleveland. Yeah,
I apologize.
Glenville. No, ain't no problem, man. Just
I get you. You had mentioned in that interview, you go on to say, the best players that hone from Glenville, they ultimately they'll go on and play Ohio State, if they're determined enough. And it was funny. I look back at that list of that top 25 that Ohio State, the 247 Sports list. And 48% of that list in 2009, of the top 25 at least, went on to commit to Ohio State. So that just goes to show you the recruiting leverage that a powerhouse like Ohio State has in its own backyard. It's almost like Monopoly. Like they are taking all the pieces of the board. That's just crazy to me. That's
no, and I mean, everybody might not admit it, but growing up in Ohio, being a football player, you love Ohio State. So of course you want to play there, and if you get the opportunity, more than likely you'll take it. You know, in a few cases there have been guys to turn down Ohio State. I've seen it even from Glenville. I've seen a guy choose Illinois over Ohio State, which, hey, more power to you. You feel me? He just everybody want to travel their own path. You feel me? But I always wanted to go to Ohio State, and that was the reason I went to Glenville.
Well, you mentioned that obviously with the Ohio State, there's a rivalry with the team up north, which if you Google them right now, they aren't doing too hot. But that's a different for a different day. But so of those 8, the top 10 at least, to put that into perspective, there was 8 of the top 10 recruits that went on to play at Ohio State. Guess where the other 2 went? The team up north. So it's just absolutely crazy how that kind of breaks down and how much leverage Ohio State has. And obviously we're going to get into that story in a minute and kind of break down your recruiting process. But I will give your coach his flowers at the high school level, Coach Ginn Sr. And your senior season under Coach Ginn Sr. at Glenville High School, you had managed to read in the intro here. Newsome, my esteemed guest, made his presence felt as a defensive leader for the Tarblooders. That's what it is, right? Tarblooders?
Yeah, Tarblooder. So Tarblooder is basically a railroad worker.
Okay.
And because up the street we have another school called Collinwood. They're the Collinwood Railroaders. And there's some type of railroad history or something going on in Cleveland where they named the school mascots the Railroaders and the Tarblooders, but the Tarblooders is basically the tar from when they used to nail down the railroads or whatever, and the blood from the hard work they put in. So Tarblooder. So yeah, we got and the mascot is a robot for some reason, but yeah, it's pretty unique, man. Superman actually came from Glenville. The creators of Superman came from Glenville. Yeah. So yeah, Superman actually has a house in the neighborhood. There's a Superman house in the neighborhood, right there in the hood, right there in the middle of the hood, bro. It's Superman house. You probably Google it. Superman house in Glenville.
Superman's house in Glenville. I'll have to look that up at the end of the show. That's neat. That's a funny little nugget. All right. So I'll read on to the intro, and then I promise this intro is a little lengthy, but we'll get through it. I'm going to speed right through it as fast as possible. All right.
Do your thing, man. I ain't got nothing but time. You good.
By the conclusion of the 2008 regular season, which would have been Newsome's senior season, Newsome would etch 101 total tackles and 17 sacks in his senior season. Likewise, not only a team captain, but Jonathan Newsome would also earn all Ohio second team honors. In January of 2009, Newsome would commit his talents to The Ohio State University, enrolling and beginning his collegiate career just 2 hours up the road in Columbus, Ohio in the summer of 2009. In his freshman season at Ohio State, I should say, Newsome would see action in just 5 games. However, in 2010, he would see his first collegiate start versus Minnesota, then would go on to play in, correct me if I'm wrong, 13 games for the Buckeyes in your sophomore season in 2010. Is Wikipedia right there, or are they wrong on that one?
Man, Wikipedia, the numbers could be slightly off, but yeah, that's close enough. You feel me? I want to comment on 101 tackles in high school. They used to pad them. Hey, but I'll take it though. You feel me? But I did have a lot of tackles. I don't know if it was 101, but shit. I mean, it didn't matter, man. It didn't matter. Shit, they wasn't looking at stats. They were checking the film. I got discovered on film. They came to look at one of my teammates. Actually, my best friend, Marcus Hall.
Okay.
He was the number 1 offensive lineman in the state. So when they came to watch Marcus's film, I flashed on film, and then that's how I got. Basically I got put on the radar. But I told Ginn back in the 9th grade when I transferred, like that was my whole point of coming to Glenville was because I wanted to go to Ohio State. So I knew it was all in the plans.
That's awesome.
Ninth grade.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, no, you bring up a good point, and I'll get back to the intro here real quick though. The stats are ridiculous. Well, yes, it's absolutely asinine. Some of those they're not accurate. So
you gotta make your guys stand out though. You feel me? Hey, 101 tackles. Who was that?
yeah, right. Okay, so at the conclusion of your sophomore season, or at the sophomore season at Ohio State, obviously there was a decision to be made about your future going forward. I know that there was some, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, academic hoops that you had to go through in the off season of your sophomore season, and then that ultimately God led you to Ball State. You ended up transferring to Ball State, and in 2011 you would redshirt, in 2011, you would redshirt. And then in 2012, I want to say, you would go on to start in the 11 games that season, and then the 11 games the following season in 2013. And then at the conclusion of your senior season in 2013, you would notch a total of 116 total tackles, 16 and a half sacks, 3 passes defended, and 1 interception. I believe that was across the stretch of those 2 seasons, is how that breaks down. And ultimately, in May of 2014, you're drafted in the 5th round of the 2014 NFL draft at the 166th overall pick by the Indianapolis Colts. And then in 2015, after nearly 2 seasons with the Colts, you would get a second chance with the Canadian Football League, playing with the Saskatchewan Roughriders. And then ultimately journeying across, I think you played with the Ottawa Redblacks and then the BC Lions down that backstretch. Before the USFL would come calling in 2022. And 2 championships later, ladies and gentlemen, this man joins the show. And an intro later, holy crap, you can find him and follow JNew11 on Instagram, at JNew11 on Twitter. An OG, a vet of the game of football. But, let's be honest, you're a kid at heart. Ladies and gentlemen, Jonathan Newsome, happy freaking Thursday. The intro's over. Let's go,
man. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
It's good, man.
That was freaking beautiful, man.
Thank you.
You're a real professional at what you do, bro. You really are.
Thank you.
That was very well put, man. That was amazing. It just listening to it, man. I'm just traveling, reminiscing down the timeline. It's been such a crazy journey. So yeah, I'm happy to be here, man. I'm happy to be here with you. Appreciate you having me.
Well, between you and me and the rest of the people that listen to the podcast, that's what you get. That's what happens when you get bored at the first 3 hours of work. You start to do some research, do some recon, but that's between us and the listeners. All right. Well, so I got to ask, first and foremost, I would be remiss if I didn't ask how your off season's been. You've just notched a second championship with the United States Football League with the Birmingham Stallions. How the hell are you, dude? I mean, 2 rings.
Man, I'm still living on a high, man. I'm still celebrating. Honestly, man, it's been a long celebration since July. Completing another championship season with the guys that I love them guys, man. I love the Birmingham Stallions. I love Birmingham. It was such a good experience being able to be a part of that, Mm-hmm. And just looking back at my career and just, if I was to end it today, I could really end it, on top, just after everything, all the ups and downs that I've been through, to be right here where I'm at is a blessing, bro. And all season been great, man. I just been family man, take care of the wife and the kids. My son started kindergarten this year. My youngest he is super busy, but they got their birthdays coming up here in the next month, and I just been enjoying family, bro. Rehabbing this knee. I ended my season with an injury last year, but it's getting better. I'm back lifting weights and doing some movements and stuff. Just taking my time with it, man. Your body don't heal up as fast as it used to when you was in your 20s than to do in your 30s, man. I'm feeling every bit of 32, but I still got some juice left in the tank. So we'll see what happens for next year.
So I want to give everybody a little bit of insight, some context. So when I first, obviously, if for everybody that listens to the show by now, you probably know that I worked in the USFL. I was on the social media side for the Birmingham hub, covering the Stallions and the Breakers. But when I would go to the Stallions practice, there was only one place I would sit during stretch and warm up. And you guessed it. It was right next to Jonathan Newsome. Every single time. Every single time. Because you're a tremendous human being, and I just love getting just sparking conversation with you and the guys, dude. Like the defensive line is my favorite. Shout out to both of the Willies, and shout out to Dondre, man. He just got me.
Shout out to Dondre, yeah. Hey, I was just about to order me one of those. I think about a black t-shirt, but yeah, man. Shout out to the whole D line, man. My brothers.
Yeah,
man. Yeah, Keegan, you always, it was always good vibes with us, man. When I first saw you, you were swagging. I'm like, man, look at this dude swag. He got the glasses with the fit. You came to practice swag it every day, so I respected your presence off the rip. I'm just like, okay, look at my dude, man. He's here. You feel me? And then just, man, you just a good person, bro. You're a tremendous human being yourself, bro. I just look at you as a brother. And any type of game I can give you, I just try to spit it to you when I can, and we just always on a good vibrations. You feel me? We flow high all day long.
Look, man, I am a sucker for wisdom, and I know that I kind of picked out who I wanted to gain the wisdom from, and I mean, honestly, you were one of the first people that I kind of had interaction with, and we hit it off, man. Like you're just a tremendous dude, and I just got to say that, man. I learned a lot from you. Like you were kind of like a mentor, and I look at everybody as a big brother, especially from my relationships that I made with Birmingham and New Orleans. But I mean that when I say that, like honestly,
it means a lot to me, bro. I'm happy that you say that. That was my goal, and that's my goal in life not my goal, but one of my purposes, man. Just trying to spread positivity, love, and wisdom to the next person, because that's what we're here for, bro. We in this thing called life together. So.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And my God, it goes by quick. I will say that. So enjoy every single day of it. I will say.
Yeah, too, man. Life is about having fun. Word to Dondre Till.
Right. Exactly. Well, let's enough about the sympathy. Let's get into the real stuff. All right.
Let's get it.
Right off the riff, we'll get into some fun here. Icebreaker. I gotta know. You going for the list, aren't you? I gotta know you.
Going for it, man. Let's go. I already know, but go ahead, hit me with it.
For everybody listening to this podcast and or watching on YouTube, this man is very much into music. And when I say very much into, if you go on YouTube and you look up, I don't even know what you just look up Jonathan Newsome. It's honestly one of the first things that pops up. It's Ball State did kind of like a highlight, sort of like a biography, sort of like a documentary, kind of a mix of all three, but essentially gave a perspective of you kind of off the field and your passion for music. I first want to start with that part because I know you have a strong passion for music. You're still in it right now. I mean, you're DJing. So kind of talk about that. And then I got to know your top 5 favorite artists. So
okay. Well, man, music has always been a big part of me, man. From I can remember just rapping music, like rapping back and forth music with my mom. Like when I was a kid, bro, like we listened, like Ready to Die by Biggie was me and my mama's album. Like we knew every song, we rapped it together. And then just growing up, man, they had all them CDs. My mom, my dad, they had CDs, bro, and I just would listen to all of it. So I got put on to a lot of old school music by my father. He's actually my stepfather, but he's my father too. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I respect him as my father. He put me onto a lot of old school music, and my mom was always, cleaning up, playing a lot of music, and just music was a part of me, man. My friends were rappers growing up. Everybody rapped and made beats, and it's a Cleveland culture is music, man. You look into Cleveland inner city, it's just a lot of talent, man. We got Kid Cudi, Chip the Ripper, MGK, Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Yes,
you know what I mean? Like the list goes on, man. Q Money, free Q Money. What else? Yeah, we got a lot of, a lot of inner city legends that they don't know about too, man. But yeah, music has always been a big part of mine growing up, and so yeah, I've always done it, man. I got raps. I used to rap on my voicemail. When you used to have to leave me a voicemail, I had a whole rap for you to listen to. Just about leaving me a message, you know what I mean? I remember when we used to put our phones up to the speaker, bro, And you got the music coming in on some. Hey, yeah, hey,
I
yeah,
can't get to the
leave me
phone
alone.
right now.
Yeah, I can't answer the phone right now, man. Just leave me a message and I'll get back to you. Go ahead and fade it out. Yeah, man. So music is a big part of me, bro. I done made music, rap, made beats. I dropped a mixtape when I was in the league, bro. I was fried, man. I mean, but music has always been my getaway. So back when I was doing it in college when Ball State did that, I
Yeah.
was just making beats. I was making beats then. So.
I'm curious because I used to dabble in a little bit of music production myself, and this is going to kind of be a little bit of nerdy talk here. But when we talk softwares, I know in that interview you would kind of shamelessly plug GarageBand. Was that like the first interface that you kind of learned on, or
Yep.
what was the things that you kind of learned off of? What softwares?
It was GarageBand, bro. Like it was because it came with the phone. Like it wasn't like I was getting ready. I wasn't even really taking it serious. I'm just like, oh dang, it's something on here that let you make beats. So I just started doing it, and then next thing you know, I was just getting real creative with it. I'm like, hold on, this shit sound like way good. Like then I learned how to put it together and learn how to do, all the little tricks and trades of the software. And I mean, GarageBand was actually a pretty solid way to, figure out how it works as far as putting the song together and how it sounds and what different instruments go with which ones and what keys to play in. So I also took a lot of music courses in college too. I took music history. I know the history of music, bro. Like it's crazy. I've been all, it's all, yeah. I took music production class. I took a music business class. And it was just, general studies, bro. I was really just trying to go to the NFL. I wasn't, I wasn't thinking about shit else other than I'm trying to go to the NFL. But music was something fun to do. So
Well, you had said in that same interview, sorry, I keep on referring back to it, but like you had talked about, I think the Cleveland School of Arts, I want to say. I don't know if there was kind of
yeah, I went to the School of Arts. So my first thing I was going to do in my life was be an actor.
heck yeah.
Uh, yeah, so I grew up in the church,
Mhm.
and in my church we always had some type of program for every holiday that they had, whether a Christmas program, Thanksgiving program, Martin Luther King Day program. The program gonna consist of some type of acting, somebody ringing some bells, somebody going up there saying a Bible verse. We don't know what that baby just said, but all the old people in the church, Amen, Amen, Amen. Good job, baby. But they had plays. The program director, sister, oh,
Blanket, it's all right.
Sister Jenkins. I'm sure it was Sister Jenkins, but she used to put together a very good program, like as far as like the acting part. She used to come up with plays and stuff, and I was always like the man. She would make me the main character every time, to the point where I grew so confident that in fifth grade we had a arts program and I did the plays. I was always the main character to the point to it got to the point where it's like, you know what, you should audition to go to the School of Arts. So you have to audition to get in there. You can't just go to the School of Arts. You got to go to an audition where it's hundreds and hundreds of kids from the city trying to get in. And I did Maya Angelou poem. I did like a monologue. I did Maya Angelou's poem, Still I Rise, and just got up there and just gave it a bunch of,
Emphasis.
yeah, a lot of feel, just still
Hey,
I rise, I will rise, just real extra, bro. But I got in there though, man. Yeah. So I got in there and I was gonna be an actor, bro. I went in there for drama. I performed at the Cleveland Playhouse a couple times. Yeah, so it's actually something I want to get back into, man. I actually just auditioned for this movie in Cleveland this past weekend. I just like I'm gonna go for it. So
heck
I'm
yeah.
just I'm all about chasing the dream, bro. It's just like, man, we talked about it earlier, like just going to work and not enjoying the people around you, or just being in an environment where it's just like this ain't really what I want to do. Like I knew since I was a kid I could not work no regular job, bro. I got fired from every 9 to 5 I had in high school. I got fired from Fridays. I got fired from the Marks department store. I got what was another store called Dave's in Cleveland. Just like, bro, I can't work here. I can't do this. This ain't me. You feel me? I'm meant to be bigger than this. I'm just bigger than the moment. That's all.
Hey, bro, 9 to 5s are not for everybody. As I'm slowly learning, 9 to 5s are not for everybody. I can
It's
say,
not for me, bro. I gotta do something. I gotta make some money because I feel like I got talent, and I just want to be. I just want to let my light shine, and whatever comes for that. My goal isn't to, be the richest person in the world or have the most power in the world, and then I really just want to spread love and positivity and just show all the God-given talent that I've been given. That's all, and I just want everybody to be happy and chill. But we live in a crazy world, bro. So I gotta have that killer mentality.
Amen.
And it always ready to go. So it's like, damn, even with all the positivity and all that, I still got to be a dog. So.
Well, kind of a decent segue. One of the things that surely probably got you through was music itself. And before I transition into the next topic, I do got to know that top 5 list.
Those bad, bro. Yeah. Okay. So
good. Who you got?
Top 5 artists. I got to break them down in categories. And if we're gonna come from my soul, we're gonna start with some R&B. So I'm gonna go male R&B right now. The top 5 most influential R&B artists to me.
All right.
I'm gonna start off with the Isley Brothers.
Okay.
I know I'm gonna get a lot of. I know this might be controversial right here, but I gotta go R. Kelly.
R. Kelly, okay.
R. Kelly.
The music, ladies.
The music, y'all. The music is R. Kelly music is a reason for a lot of us, a lot of our existence. You feel me? A lot of us would not be here if y'all people didn't hear Bump and Grind or Seems Like You're Ready. Right. You know what I mean?
This weekend, baby, I'm about to have me some fun.
Okay, man. We was flirting back in the 2000s. We believed we could fly back in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? Stop playing with R. Kelly. We was the world's greatest. You know what I mean? Like, R. Kelly got them bangers for days, man. It's like, it's unfortunate what happened with him and his situation and all the victims and whatever. We ain't gonna talk about that. They ain't got nothing to do with the music. But the music is great and it's forever gonna be great. And even as a DJ, if y'all gonna book me, I'm gonna play some R. Kelly. That's what it is. All right, so moving on from R. Kelly, Usher Raymond. Usher Raymond is one of the top 5. I'm gonna put Chris.
Don't play with me like.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna put Chris Brown in there. I'm gonna say Chris Brown is up there with the top R&B artists. He got a lot of hits. He's been doing it for a long time. And then I can't mention all those people without mentioning Michael Jackson. So Michael Jackson, I'm gonna put him in there because and I'm not a big Mike fan. I'm gonna be honest with you. I like Michael Jackson. I like all the classic, hits. You feel me? But I didn't grow up just loving Michael Jackson. I caught when I was growing up, Michael Jackson, then bleached his skin and he had something going on at the Never Never Land and it was just all type of weird shit going on with Michael Jackson. But I did rock with Butterflies though. I like Butterflies. That was kind of my time right there where I'm like, oh, this is Michael Jackson. The Billie Jean and all that's me tapping back into my old school stuff, which that's what I did as a kid. I listened to a lot of old school music.
Jackson 5, were you a fan of Jackson 5?
Hey, cool. I saw the Jackson movie, man. I had to sit there. I sat there and really watch that long ass VH1. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about, bro? The Great American Story or something. That movie long as hell. I'm just like, man, he beat them kids into stardom, man. That's crazy, bro. Like, I feel bad for them kids. It's like, the music is evil, really, if you think about it. They didn't want to sing this, but they just wanted to be kids. Anyway, man, I rock with the Jacksons, but if we're going to talk about R&B groups, man, Jackson 5 ain't nowhere near the top. They ain't in my top 10. You feel me? Real talk. I got the Isley Brothers #1. Then you got to go with, like, the Commodores, the Ohio Players. It's just too many. It's just way too many groups. You know what I mean? I think it's another couple. I know some I'm missing, but the Isley Brothers is at the top of the list. Earth, Wind, and Fire, Temptations. I mean, Temptations and Jackson 5, I'll put them in the same category. That Motown, you know what I mean? But Earth, Wind, and Fire had them. It's just levels to it, man. Anyway, let's move on to hip hop.
I got you.
All right, so hip hop top 5. This is my top 5. And I want to give respect to all the pioneers of hip hop. You know what I mean? Them guys like, BDP, KRS-One, all them guys that started, back in the day where, them 80s hip hop, DJ Funk this and DJ Fresh and whoever else, Rakim, Eric B, all them guys, they was raw.
Right.
Okay? The game changed in the 90s. period. 90s rap took a different approach where it was like, okay, hip hop is hip hop, but this shit is now these motherfuckers is rapping. You know what I mean? Now we rapping. Now we talking about some crazy shit. So I'm going, I gotta go right now, overall, all time, influential in my life.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say number one is Jay-Z.
Okay.
I put Jay-Z number one.
All right.
One A. I can't even. It's like, okay, in no specific order. Jay-Z,
Yes.
Lil Wayne,
Okay.
Kanye West,
Kanye. Okay.
Drake.
Okay. Oh, that surprises me.
I know, man. And listen, I'm gonna tell you why Drake though, because when I was young, when I was coming out of high school, that's when Drake pretty much started blowing up. Like, so
Oh.
I was around. I've been around for Drake's whole tenure. You know what I mean? And he been doing this shit for a long time. Like, old Drake is really crazy. Like
Headlines, Drake.
oh yeah, nah, man. Even before that, I'm talking about So Far Gone.
Oh,
So
okay.
Far Gone, Drake. You gotta go back to that So Far Gone. That was when I first was introduced to Drake, and we had that on repeat for 2 or 3 years. Then he dropped the album. What was it? Thank Me Later.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank Me Later was fire.
Mm-hmm.
And then he came out with that damn Take Care. And Take Care took him to greatness already. It was like, this is the craziest second project ever. Then nothing was the same. And it's like, okay, you batting 100. You batting 100. It's like you're not missing. You're shooting 100%. And then after that, it was kind of like, it started to kind of, he had like maybe 2 more albums I rock with. I rock with the Him and Future album.
Yeah.
And I rock with that If You Reading This,
It's Too Late.
Too Late. That was a cold one. Everything else after that, I mean, I kind of rock with the Lover Boy and the shit with 21, all that. Everything else was just like, okay, you just it's a Drake now. Like, all right, we done heard your best, and this ain't your best, but it's not bad, and it's good enough to get us by. So, and he just dropped that for the dogs, and I'm like, it's cool. It's good enough to get us by. But everybody will say that his most classic shit is that So Far Gone album and the first 3 albums that he dropped. So I put Drake in there because he got a large category. And really, not a large category, catalog, my bad. And really, it's hard to have a top 5. I really need a top 10, bro, because I gotta mention Gucci.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up off of Gucci heavy. Gucci was very influential to trap music, period. So then you can't mention Gucci without Jeezy. You know what I mean? You gotta have Gucci and Jeezy in there. You gotta have Gucci and Jeezy. But then when you talk about Gucci and Jeezy, now you gotta mention Future.
Okay.
Like then Future changed the game too. He's influential. As far as influence. Everybody want to sound like Future.
We're talking trap. Where's T.I.?
That's what I'm saying. And I had to mention T.I. too, because T.I. was the first one I grew up off of, because that trap music, right? But it ain't the same type of trap music. Like T.I., I would put T.I. and Rick Ross music in the same. Like it's that luxury trap music. Like this is like high class trap music. That Gucci and Jeezy was just straight gutter gangster music, gangster trap music. It was just hood shit, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful time to be alive. And you saw a few years ago they did that versus. It was the craziest versus anybody ever seen. So yeah, I gotta mention Gucci and Jeezy. I gotta mention Future just because of how everybody want to sound like Future now. And I know a lot of people rock with Young Thug. I wouldn't put I'm not a Young Thug fan, but
I agree.
I understand how influential he has been to a lot of the sound of today. But I think that's the problem. Y'all try to sound like him. Everybody need to be more original. And then you got like groups like Bone Thugs, 3 6 Mafia, and the Migos, where I feel like all 3 of those, you can't mention one without the other. If you're gonna mention one of them, you gotta mention all of them, right? Then you got 8Ball, MJG, you got UGK, Outkast. It's just a lot of Andre 3K. It's just a lot of it's a lot of people, man. Then of course you got to mention NWA and Biggie Smalls and Tupac, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's hard to have a top five with so many different artists and different impact on the game, bro. Like it just they all had an impact. But yeah, I rock with T.I. for sure on the trap music. So I couldn't forget my boy T.I. I didn't write him down, but he on it, bro. I got him on there now.
Well,
female R&B, and I'm gonna stop after this one. All right, female R&B artist.
Good, you're good.
I'm gonna go Beyonce.
All right.
Even though I'm not in the beehive. I'm far from it. I really don't even. Beyonce cool. You feel me? Like she cool, but she the queen. I get it. Everybody rock with Beyonce. Dang. But if I'm okay, how about just female artists? Because I gotta go Nicki Minaj. I put Nicki Minaj at the top of the game. I think she's the best female rapper ever.
Okay. Oh, wow.
I think Nicki the best female rapper ever. I ain't gonna lie. She's been putting in work for a long time, bro. And like she got some shit where her bars back in the day used to be crazy. Like, I mean, these girls now are cool. You know what I mean? They cool. It's, but Nicki was like rapping with them dudes. Like she was going bar for bar with Drake on Drake stuff, on whoever she was up against, she was going bar on Monster. And Nicki's probably the top female rapper of all time. To me, I always love Nicki Minaj. Then I would say Aaliyah is a top female R&B artist. Rest in peace to Aaliyah.
Yes.
Mary J. Blige, OG. Rihanna got a lot of hits. And I love Rihanna. Erykah Badu, that's my girl. I love Erykah. I love Jill Scott. And as far as a couple old schoolers to throw in there, I'll throw Anita Baker, and SWV. I like them a lot. I'm probably missing some people, but yeah, these are all the people I had listed, man. I got a large library of music, bro. I would have to really just go through my YouTube and just scroll through artists like, oh yeah, this person. But I love a lot of different music, bro. So.
Well, I will say this: if you cared to know my top five, real quick before we segue, I was top five just rap artists because I am big into rap. That's my favorite genre. I would say Lil Wayne. And no order, to be honest, because they all kind of have their own,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's hard to put them in order because everybody different.
I just got respect for like people that brought their own sound to it. And so, and I'm an old soul, so like Eminem, Lil Wayne, kind of cliche if I mention those two, but Kendrick is underrated. Now, I mean,
I didn't mention Kendrick or Cole, bro. Dang, I gotta mention both of them. My bad. Go ahead.
Kendrick's there, and then old school, I'm going Biggie. Biggie's the best freestyler ever. I don't care what anybody says. Biggie's the best freestyler ever. He doesn't. He gets in the booth. You watch the documentaries, the VHS, the old videos of him getting in the studio.
Yeah.
He gets in the booth. Raps. He doesn't write his verse. He just gets in and he raps, and you don't see that. So there's my fourth. Really, he's probably top three, to be honest. And then I would want to say Tupac here, but I might go off. I might take a turn here, and I'll probably say Kanye. I'd say Kanye, given the fact of what he's done from the sound standpoint. I know he's different in the head now, especially, but he's different in his sound, and so it's just unique. So
he's elite. Kanye is elite.
Yeah, he's in the class of his own. You got to respect it, regardless of what you're saying.
He got old stuff. He got new stuff. He got gospel music. The man got all type of music. That 808's a heartbreak changed my life. I ain't gonna lie, man. That was my favorite Kanye album. 808's a heartbreak. Not a lot of people say that one. They always say like Graduation, College Dropout, or Twisted Dark Fantasy.
Yeezus.
Right? Yeezus.
Hey, my favorite.
Hey man, shit, I ain't gonna lie. I was rocking with Jesus is King. Shit, I rock with Donda. I rock with both of them. So I'm like, hey, Kanye, he make good. The production is just, it's on another level. It's like it sounds like you listening to some godly music.
Well, artists aside, we could go on for days. We could honestly talk about music for days, but
that's what we do.
I'm gonna segue because I know we got a few things we got to get into, and I want to go kind of down memory lane. So I want to go back to your time at Glenville, growing up in Glenville. So kind of give me context on growing up in Glenville. And for the listeners and viewers watching this, kind of paint the scene of what you hone from and what Glenville has instilled in you, and then getting to the high school football scene. Yeah, I'll let you have the floor, my friend. Paint the picture for us, buddy.
All right. Well, picture your normal, predominantly Black neighborhood in the inner city, right? The hood, man. This is where we at. This is Glenville. It's a football. I mean, football brings the neighborhood together. For sure, the football program has always been huge. Football is huge in Northeast Ohio in general. In Ohio, period. You know what I mean? So this is what we do. Sports and all that definitely bring the community together. But Glenville is a special place, man. It's just the community. Just man. Okay, let me just take it back to when I first came to Glenville. Was when we played. We have a little league called the Muni League in Cleveland, right? So there are little football teams, from our divisions are Pee Wee. You got Pee Wee, which is like 9, 10 to 11-year-olds, and then older up from Pee Wee is bantamweight, down from Pee Wee is midget, and then down from midget is termite. So you got these different leagues. You got these different levels of the football league, right? I grew up playing Pee Wee football. I started playing Pee Wee.
Right.
I started off playing in Forest Hills. That's like in Cleveland Heights, and then I moved over to Glenville Titans. So you talk about Ginn, right? Mm-hmm. You got Ginn in the neighborhood, but there are so many other people just like Ginn in the Glenville community. Just a lot of wisdom, father figure type people that you're gonna come across. So the first one I came across was Rob J. Rest in peace to Rob J. That was my Muni League coach. That was my introduction to Glenville. Was Rob J. Rob passed a few years ago. He was Ginn before. He's a little league Ginn, if anything. Like, you know what I mean? It's like first you start with Rob J, then you go to Ginn. And then all the coaches that Rob J kept around, Coach Ginn, Coach Smooth, Coach Bate, it's just, these guys have been around. These are our role models, our coaches growing up playing football. So, yeah, it's a lot. It's just, man, it's hard, man. It's hard to me explaining it because it's like, man, I want to give credit to so many different people, right? It's like so many different people paved the way for you, and it's like, yeah, we live in this bad neighborhood. It's crime. It's crack, it's drugs, it's sex, it's all these distractions, all these reasons to not be successful.
Right.
But you got so many people here that's still in the neighborhood that are helping guide these young men to become great. And through the football program is where most of us, excel. And so yeah, I played Little League in Glenville. I ended up being overweight 1 year, and then I ended up having to play middle school football. So during this time I was at the School of Arts, and I'm balancing football and acting, right? But I'm kind of like I'm one of those people that's kind of always just too big for the moment. Not a class clown. I wasn't a class clown, but you kind of get that sense that my energy can't be just boxed in too much without it becoming an issue, right? At any rate, I might have been having a little bit too much fun at the School of Arts where I needed a fresh start. So I transferred to a Lutheran school, St. John Nottingham, my 8th grade year, which was a little bit more structured, one class per grade. It was a small class. I graduated with a small class, but I played football for the Lutheran school in the middle school league, where I played running back and linebacker because I was just too big to play Muni League now. So then I ended up going to high school, and I kept going the private school route, and I ended up going to a Benedictine in Cleveland. And Benedictine was actually a pretty good football program too. They had just won 3 state championships. So I thought, and then they had Mr. Football. Ray Williams had just came from Benedictine. So he was Mr. Football in Ohio. So I figured, it was a good place to hone my football skills and, become something great. But things didn't work out at Benedict thing for me, man. It was just, pretty much not my kind of environment. It was an all boys school, Catholic school, a lot of and Catholic stuff going on, and the monks walking around, and father this and father that. And I just wasn't calling nobody that wasn't my daddy father. It just it just I didn't fit in over there, okay? And I got into a scuffle with a student, and then that was the final straw at that point. I knocked this dude out in the library, and at that point, I was like, all right, I need a fresh start. I told my dad, I said, man, I want to go to Glenville. Glenville had just sent, that year was 20, what was that, 2005? In 2005, Glenville sent 21 players to Division I schools.
Holy crap.
21 in just a 2005 class. I'm like, oh yeah, I got to go to Glenville. I think they sent 3 to Ohio State.
Damn.
Yeah, so the pipeline had, just kept going from that point. Ted was already there, Dante Whitner, Troy Smith, all them guys were already there, but they had sent Ray Small, Rob Rose, and Brian Brown in that year. And then they were going to keep sending guys every year, pretty much, all the way up to my year. And me and Marcus went my year. And then before that, it was this guy, Jamel Hines, Jamel Martin. We kept guys up in there. Jamari O'Neal. We kept guys from Glenville in there. Marshawn Lattimore.
Yeah.
Marshawn.
Frank, y'all had Frank Clark.
Frank Clark, but he ended up going to Michigan now. So Frank probably should have went to Ohio State, but I mean, why would he do that? He had a great career in Michigan, so
that's true.
Frank, my dude, though, man. He just got picked up by Seattle, so shout out to Frank.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, man, it's just a lot of talent. It's a lot of talent where I'm from, anyway, man. Whether it's for music, literally the Glenville neighborhood is where Bone Thugs grew up at. You know what I mean? They grew up on East 99th in St. Clair. That's right down the street. You know what I mean? So there's talent everywhere. Rich Paul, LeBron's agent. He's from St. Clair. You know what I mean? I don't know if he went to. Did he go to Glenville? He's very involved with Glenville. I don't know if he went to Glenville or if he went to Collinwood. I know he's from St. Clair though. I mean, he's from that neighborhood. So.
Damn.
Yeah. Well, Rich might have went. I think Rich did go to Glenville.
Well, I want to talk about.
He might not even went to school, man. Dude was a hustler and turned into the biggest agent in the world.
Yo, shout out to Rich Paul for setting the precedent and getting his money, dude.
Rich was selling Bron jerseys, and he gotta get his book. He just dropped a book too, so we gotta talk about that. Let's get on our book club stuff. You grab it, I'm gonna grab it. We're gonna come back and talk about it.
Oh, we're gonna do this now. This is a thing.
Yeah. We're gonna come back and do a book review on Rich Paul book.
Hell yeah.
He probably painted a way better picture of Glenville than I'm painting right now. You just go read the book and it'll tell you all about our neighborhood, man. It's crazy. It was crazy to come up out of there. It's a blessing to come up out of there. Football paved the way for me because it could have went any other direction. I got guys that I grew up with that are no longer here. You know what I mean? They didn't make it out of the freshman year, sophomore year. They didn't make it out of high school.
Right.
I got guys I literally I got pictures with friends that are dead right now, that have been shot and killed. And there's a lot of weird crime going on in Cleveland, a lot of pedophiles and shit. It's crazy where I'm from, bro. You just go if you ever get on Instagram, go to Cleveland Remembrance page. You'll see, or go to Cleveland Remembrance page or I'm from Cleveland. And they'll show you all the crazy stuff that go on in Cleveland. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy, but I'm glad I'm proud of where I'm from too, man, because it molded me into the man that I am, man. I had to grow up fast, for real. I've been coming home. My mom, without getting too personal, you feel me? I've been a grown up kid since the second grade. You feel me? Like my mom had to work. I've been coming home, taking care of my sister since I was 6 years old. So it's right. It is what it is, but I'm happy about the path that I've been chosen to walk, and it's made me who I am, and I know who I am, and I'm confident and happy about everything I've ever done, mistake I've ever made, because I'm still here, bro. So
yeah, 1000%. And you that's a great transition, great segue, because when you get to Glenville or the high school you cross paths with, or I guess you are, how do I word this? So you become a part of Coach Ginn Sr.'s team, who, let me go ahead and give context on Coach Ginn, because I don't think it gets talked about enough. I was doing my research today on the high school at Glenville, the Tarblooders, and I will say this: I've never seen Ginn Sr. Oh my gosh, dude, just from reading his story, it impressed me, because he came on the scene in 1997. The team had not made a playoff appearance up until his arrival. They went on to go and make 19 appearances in Ohio playoffs, Ohio State high school playoffs. So they had went on to 19 appearances. He boasts a record as of March of 2023. They're 8-3 right now in the season, but boasted a record of 240 and 60 all time. I want to say won a state championship in 2022. Talk about him as a coach, but did he have any sort of a father figure? Because he seems like the kind of coach that would look at his players as if they're his sons. And just talk about like the impression he had on you and some of the things that, or the intangibles that he instilled in his players, and some of those that you carry today, I guess.
Yeah, Ginn has always been a father figure to me, man. He's been a man. It's not enough words to describe, or explain the impact that he's had on my life. It's just, I mean, I wouldn't be here without Ginn. That's just a fact, And Ginn has a crazy story himself, man. He started off as just a security guard at the school, and he was actually learning. He was under the wing of Coach Hub. Rest in peace to Hub. Hub was like the first, father figure black coach in the Glenville community, and then Coach Hub died, and then Ginn took over, and Ginn took it to another level. And I mean, he created this platform for everybody in the city of Cleveland, to the point where, I mean, kids was leaving the suburbs to come transfer to Glenville to come play for Ginn. Y'all transferring to the hood to come play for Ginn. He was changing lives, and he definitely changed mine. Like I said, when I was in the ninth grade, I went to Benedictine, and I ended up transferring to Glenville. And me and Ginn had I had to go have a conversation with Ginn before I transferred to Glenville. I just went to go sat down and talked to him about the plans, and he asked me, what is it that you want to do? I'm like, I want to play football at Ohio State. He said, okay, well, that's possible. You got to come in, you got to be a leader, and you got to be able to, play Glenville football. And the stuff that, just being a part of Glenville football is, I mean, it's very uniform, it's very together, it's very, it's just tough, spiritual,
Yeah.
just, energetic. It's just so many different words to describe what it is to be a Tarblooder. I mean, if you went to Glenville, you got one of these on you, bro. You got I don't know if you can see it. That's my Glenville G.
Oh, that's it.
The Glenville G. Everybody who went there, we're a fraternity down there. We're like our own sorority, fraternity, whatever. We're our own entity, man. This shit is real. This shit is, it's in us, so it means something to us. And that's the type of program that Ginn built. And that's what, to have people to be very proud to be from Glenville. And I mean, he always made sure that we were, the best show the best show everywhere we went, man. We dressed a certain way. We wore suits and stuff on game day in the school. Every time Coach Ginn spoke, eyes were up. Eyes up, and you're attentive. And we did study hall. I mean, everybody, got the grades right and all that. He made sure everybody went to school and did right in the community. We gave back to community, car washes, turkey drives, whatever it was. But it's just a beautiful thing being the Tarblooder, man. It's just a big family environment, and it's like growing up in the church. It's like, I mean, shit. It's everything, bro. It's everything you can imagine, man. Everything that you read it checks off for sure. And Ginn has been very impactful to everybody he's come across. And he's an amazing man, and he keeps amazing people around him too. I can't mention Ginn without mentioning Coach Fox. Rest in peace to Coach Fox. He was the offensive line coach at Glenville for a long time, and a very good friend of my father, a very good friend of mine. You know, Coach Fox is he was just as impactful. Coach Matt Chinchar, the one white coach that we got. He's the only white dude on the staff. Well, actually, he's not the only white dude. We also got Coach Streeter, which was our team chaplain slash, just assistant coach. He come in and he'd preach to us and all that, but he also, helped out. But Streeter's been around for a long time too. So you got Streeter, you got Chinchar, and there's been various other coaches to come through the program. The ones that I remember that the most, that impact me the most, Coach Dar, Coach Luke, and then Coach Max Stevens. He's over at he's the head coach at Cleveland Heights. He actually played in the NFL for a while too. Max Stevens, he played for Minnesota, and then he ended up playing for the Vikings for a little while. His son actually played football too, so it's just a lot of good football pedigree going around. Lyndon Stevens is his son. He played for the Steelers for a little bit. He played at University of Cincinnati. But yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, a lot. It's a coaching tree. Coach Juice. Yeah, I just saw Juice not too long ago. Man, there's a lot of different coaches that have been under the umbrella of Ginn, but Ginn keeps good people around. Even the secretaries, man, Miss T, Coach Miss Lena. You know what I mean? Just all the people that got to do with Glenville, man. To the principal of Glenville, Miss Bell, the gym teacher, Miss Taylor, the basketball coach, Coach Hope. Like Glenville is a whole TV show. It's a movie. It's a movie, man. It's a movie. It's crazy being from Glenville, bro, because it's really a story. It's a story. It's a storybook. It's almost like, who made this up?
Why have they not made a documentary?
There have been a few. I don't know if it's a full documentary, but like there have been like little documentaries here and there, like people that made their own, show. I guess they did their own project on it.
Right.
Nothing too big, but I'm sure it's coming, man. If it ain't, we definitely need a Netflix documentary though. But it'll be hard to choose who all gonna be on there. There's so many different people to interview.
Well, I was gonna say, like, under Coach Ginn Sr., I mean, 26 over the span of, I believe it's like 26 years, I want to say. He's been the head coach for them since 1997, so about 26. He's produced 26 players have gone on to play in the NFL. And that's not to mention, like, how many people he has elevated from being in Glenville and going to play at the Division I level. That's an impressive.
Right, come on, man. So, man, some of these kids would have never had a chance to go to college. Right. Some of these kids would have never graduated high school if it wasn't for being in the football program, right? But I'm gonna tell you something that's crazy, man. As much as we hear about all the guys that made it to the NFL, right, bro, it might have been, I won't say just as many, but at least half of that number of athletes that came out of Glenville that were better. They were better.
They were dogs.
It's some dogs out there that the world not gonna know about, but Glenville know about these dudes.
I'd like to consider myself a sports memorabilia connoisseur. I mean, if you watch the podcast on YouTube, you look behind me, you see I got all the Broncos memorabilia, the Baker Mayfield jersey. It's a little bit disorganized, but don't hold it against me. Nevertheless, I just have a deep appreciation for memorabilia because I feel that each piece tells a tremendous story and conveys a lot about a team's history. But when I arrived at the USFL last season, contributing as one of their on-site social media producers, I was quickly introduced firsthand to one of the leading clothing brands, not only within the USFL, but in leagues such as the Canadian Football League, the Arena Football League, Minor League Baseball, National Basketball Association, and those are just to name a few. This brand has propelled themselves and cemented themselves as the leaders in defunct team merchandise and memorabilia. Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to share that Strive Sports Podcast, Strive Sports Productions, has teamed up with the leader in USFL merchandise, Royal Retros. From hats and jerseys to t-shirts and replica football helmets, they've got everything. Royal Retros has become a pioneer in paying homage to classic sports teams And whether you are a fan of basketball, baseball, football, or even hockey, Royal Retros has something for everyone. As a matter of fact, with the holiday season just right around the corner, get ahead on your shopping list right now and head on over to their website. As a matter of fact, get your phone out and you can scan the bottom left QR code located in the bottom left corner of the screen, and it'll prompt you and take you over to the Royal Retros website. Once there, feel free to peruse the site. They've got everything: basketball, baseball, hockey, football. Like I said, one of the best, if not the best, in defunct team merchandise and memorabilia. And once you're at checkout, go ahead and use promo code STRIVE. That's promo code STRIVE, STRIVE. Save yourself 10% on your next purchase with them. A great way to support the leaders in defunct team merchandise and memorabilia, and a great way to support the show. Big shout out to Royal Retros for partnering with us and allowing us to join them on this opportunity.
Right. Some dogs. I mean, I can go down. It's a list of people you might not. Man, listen, man. Darius Superman Hiley. They call him Superman, right? You got LaTwan Anderson. Hey. He was crazy. Who else, man? It's a whole bunch of guys. Ray Small, Ray Fisher. Man, I can go down with Pierre. They don't talk about Pierre Woods a lot, but Pierre went to the league though, so I can't mention Pierre like he ain't one of the ones that didn't go. But they don't talk about Pierre enough, man. He was one of the first ones, man. You know, but I'm talking about these guys. It's some guys that I know. It's some athletes that I know that maybe took the wrong, they took the wrong direction along the path. Ended up getting ended up in an unfortunate situation where they couldn't continue to showcase their skills. But man, these dudes were the best athletes I ever saw. One of my best friends, Sam McCrimmon, he played football a little bit for us immunity, but he was a basketball player. He got into a little bit of trouble in school, man, but he's the best athlete I ever saw. Him and LaTwan Anderson, probably the best athletes I ever saw.
Wow.
LaTwan Anderson was a dog. He was probably number one player in the country. He should have been. But
what are the odds I could find film on either one of those guys when I get off this podcast? You think I'd be able to Google? Because I do want to see what they were. I want to see. I want to see if they were dogs.
LaTwan Anderson was the truth, man. LaTwan Anderson, Superman Hiley. I don't know if you'll find Darius Hiley highlights. He was like 2003, 2004 class. But LaTwan, you might be able to find LaTwan's highlights. Yeah, man. I had a dude that went to Ball State with us, man. A-Rod, he was a dog too, man. He ended up having to leave Ball State, but he was all MAC, just Glenville ballers, man. Just shoot, we just got him, man. It's just in the program, bro. We don't even really lift weights like that. We just ran because the football. Look, they talk about the football program, the track program that won more state championships than anybody.
Ginn was the coach for the track and field program.
Yes, he's the track and field coach too. And listen, we didn't won more state championships in track than anything. That's a track school. Glenville, a track school. It's a track school, bro. And we got ball, and we got hoopers too. Don't get me wrong. We had a lot of hoopers coming out of there too. But, yeah, man. And then I told you the music too, man. Shit, we had a dude who was cool with us. His name was Fat Al, man. He had a song on Madden one year called Came Down. LeBron was in the video.
Yo.
Yeah. I mean, I'm talking about the music scene in Cleveland is like the local scene is big, man. Them people are celebrities walking around there just because they make music.
That's crazy. Well,
yeah, we got groups in Cleveland, man. There was a group called Royal Camp. There's a group called Boss Bird. I mean, these like popular people, man. Popular groups of people that make music, man. Then you got all the people from the West Side. And it's just a lot of the music scene is big in Cleveland, bro. I ain't gonna lie. It's a big talent show in Cleveland, man. Cleveland is a hidden gem in the world, bro. Really.
What's the nickname for the city? I forgot. They got a nickname for the city?
Some people call it the land.
Okay. All right. Well, I thought it was like the city of, or like,
No, they call it the land, or the land is what I've heard it be called, or 216. They might just say the area code, or
Believeland.
Believe land, I guess. We used to say believe a lot. Yeah, I know. Believe land, that was, that's that Cavaliers slogan. But yeah, I don't know. We more so just the land. I know some people call us a mistake on the lake.
Oh, yeah, nice. I was going to mention, so it's been an ongoing debate on this podcast, and right after this, we'll go through the speed trial. I know that I appreciate your time tonight. We're going to kind of navigate college real quick. We'll shadow that, then we'll get through CFL, and then we'll close out with the USFL. Obviously, talk about your NFL career in there.
Okay, yeah, no pressure, man. I'm here, man. Let's talk.
So, all right, of this ongoing debate through the past 3 episodes, I've asked Johnny Dixon and Davion Davis this question. Johnny was from Florida and Davion is from Texas. You're from Ohio. Obviously, the main debate for best high school football, typically you'll hear Texas, Florida, California. Not a lot of people mention just how good Ohio is in the Midwest. Yeah. And mind you, they are a freaking wheelhouse when it comes to producing high school talent. Yeah. I give you the floor to make your debate because you played Ohio football at the high school level and collegiate level. Are they the best state for producing high school football talent?
I mean, I think. Well, you talking about is Ohio the best state?
Comparatively to California, Texas, Florida.
Compared to this is what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say it like this. I think you can find just as many quality football players in Ohio that you can anywhere. Texas, California, Florida. We got the same type of athletes right here in Ohio. Now, I say Ohio and Florida. I say Florida football and Ohio football. I would put them as far as popularity and just, how serious it is. Because it is serious. I would put them in like this category over here to the left. And then I would put Texas and California seriousness of football, how like the structure of it. You know what I mean? It just seems like the stadiums are bigger. Right. They got better, the better uniform, just more, they got more of a budget, but they're bigger states, right? Right. So because I live here in Indiana right now, bro, I live in Indiana, and this is an all state, this is an all sports state. They play football, basketball, they do everything here. And you can find some good athletes here too. So, and it's just, it's only because it's just a smaller state. You don't want to mention it, but I mean, shit, bro, like you can find athletes anywhere. That's true. So as far as it being the best, I say they're all high school football to me. That's what it is. Because we all play each other now too. So it's nobody standing on top of nobody. It's just your state is literally bigger than my state. Therefore, you got more, more variety, more quantity. I mean, it just more research. I think the quality is the same to me.
Yeah, and like you said,
I didn't play. I mean, shit, bro. I'm from Ohio. I didn't play with people from everywhere. Like, what? Ain't nobody. I don't feel like nobody's standing out like that to me. I mean, I'm just saying, bro. I done went toe to toe with the best of the best. Literally, I went against the best players and have played and dominated, bro. So it's just like, whatever.
No, that's a valid point. That's valid. No. So pivoting, you speak about the best of the best. December of 2008, you take an official visit to Ohio State University, the Ohio State, and ultimately you enroll in Ohio State and arrive in June of 2009, I want to say. And take me through the time at Ohio State, your freshman and sophomore year. Just being a part of that program briefly, but being a part of it for the time being through those 2 years.
Oh, man, it's definitely one of the best times of my life. I was having a lot of fun, bro. I'm not going to lie. Just, the chains of being a high school kid in your parents' home, and you got, it's just still certain things that you got to do. You got to listen. I'm under somebody else's roof. When I got to college, bro, I moved into the dorms. I'm just all of a sudden living by myself on my own in this big city where they love what I do. You feel me? They love me for being a Buckeye, bro. I hadn't even played a down, and I was getting all the benefits of being a Buckeye, whether that was free food here, free tattoos, just
Everything.
All the stuff that they can do now legally. We couldn't, we were doing it illegally back then, but now, they just threw an NIL tag on it and everything is okay.
Oh, man.
But I was having a great time, bro. Let me just say that. I went through, I don't remember much about I don't remember much about school. I remember all the partying we did, and I remember playing football.
Yes, sir.
And so I just we kicked it, man. We kicked it hard, and when I was at a hop shit in college, period, man. And I don't know I don't know what type of show this is, man. I don't know how much I could say
Hey, man.
about the things that we was doing, but we was doing a lot of stuff, bro. We was really like we was taking them chances, is what I'm saying. Like we was living. You would thought we was in Miami or some shit. I don't know. I mean, we wasn't doing cocaine or nothing like that. Don't get me wrong, but hey, close enough. You feel me? So, shit, we was having a good ass time, bro. And unfortunately, my priorities weren't in order to be having that type of fun. So it ended up affecting for some reason during the football season, I kept it together. I was good. I was able to, now I always was able to focus on football. When it's time to play football, that part about me, I didn't play around about, right? School, I wasn't, I'm being honest, I didn't go to school.
Ain't nobody give a damn about
school. I didn't go to school to play school. I came to play football. As my boy Cardell Jones. We didn't come to school to play school. We came to play football. He went to Glenville too. Cardell went to Glenville too. So so I had to quote my boy. But yeah, man, anybody ask me, even coming out of high school, I used to tell people, I said, bro, I'm going 3 and out, man. I'm doing my 3 years and I'm declaring for the draft after my junior year. Give a damn about graduating college. I just want to go play so I can get to the NFL. That's it. That was my only goal. I just want to get a good enough grade to be eligible. And I know that's terrible.
I'm out.
Right? And I know that's terrible because if I knew then what I know now, I would have took complete advantage. I probably would have just been a nerd and not even been good at football, just using football to become the smartest person in the world, right? I'm at Ohio State, it's the biggest university. I mean, I really could have used that to my advantage, but I was hindsight football, right? And hindsight football, I have a good time. The girls, the party, everything was great. But my grades ended up taking a hit, so I had to dig myself out of a hole twice, 2 years in a row. I was ineligible during spring ball, 2 years in a row. And then going into my junior year, Coach Luke Fickle, was my linebackers coach. He's the head coach at Wisconsin now. Yeah. Luke Fickle told me that he was going to bump me down to third string starting in fall camp, and I was going to fight my way back to the top. This is literally the conversation we had. I'm like, no. It's my junior year. I just came off of my sophomore year where I started a game. The game that I started in, I got special teams player of the week. Yep. You know what I mean? And I played special teams all year long, and I played in the Sugar Bowl. Like, it was my turn to be the starter. I was the main backup to the 3 starting linebackers that we had. I was the number 1 backup. I would come in for any of them, right? So I figured going into my junior year, it's my time to shine. And then just because I was having so much of a good time outside of football, and sometimes my energy, like I said, too big for the room, and I wasn't able to be maybe contained or controlled. I don't know, but I had some maturing to do. Let's say that. You know what I mean? I'll admit that. And the best thing for me to do at the time was to go get a fresh start because I wasn't getting ready to dig myself out of nobody's hole. I seen that happen to guys, and they never got out.
Yeah. Right.
I've seen guys get thrown into what they called back then the doghouse. So once you get thrown into the doghouse, it's hard to make a comeback because this is Ohio State, right? There's somebody right behind me just as capable of getting the job done. They'll move on to him. The thing I learned about football is it don't matter how good you are. The business will make whoever they want be a superstar. You know what I mean? It don't matter if he's better than you or he's not. It's whoever can get with the program, right? Which I had to learn the hard way. Eventually, I figured it out. Got me 2 championships out of this situation. I had figuring out how to just work the system and just, be a program guy. Because trying to be more than that, you're putting a target on your back. At least for me, it is. At least for me. Some people were blessed enough to have the privilege of being themselves and that being okay. Me, never was the case. I could never be myself. I had to, conform.
Right.
So anyway, I transferred to Ball State because um, I had a couple guys that I graduated high school with that went to Ball State. Actually, it was 4 of them at Ball State at the time, and these were my good friends: Travis Freeman, Jason Pinkston, Toriel Gibson, Shane Bell, and the guy I mentioned earlier, A-Rod, Aaron Morris. And so there was a lot of Glenville guys at Ball State.
Right.
So I transferred to Ball State because they had a brand new coach, the defensive coordinator Jay Bateman, the defensive line coach Chad Wilt. They were like, we need you, we want you. They showed me around. They put the emphasis on it. I'm like, yeah, I'm going there.
Right.
And I'm gonna just go tear up the MAC. I told people at Ohio State, I said, listen, bro, it's cool. I'm gonna go down here to Ball State. I'm gonna kill the MAC, and I'm still going to the league because I had something to prove. Because I had to just tell people, I'm like, dang, I gotta leave Ohio State. Everybody like, dang, that's stupid. Why would you leave? Why would you do that? And I'm just like, it's cool though. I'm like, it's cool. I'm still, stay on track with what I'm trying to do. The reason I'm leaving is because I'm trying to stay on track with what I'm trying to do. I'm not getting ready to get buried and not be able to get seen to go to the NFL. I'm gonna go somewhere where I'm stand out.
Great, absolutely.
Ball State let me do that, man. But yeah, I was having a lot of fun in college, man. I got arrested like 2 or 3 times. They ain't let us smoke, man. That was really the problem, bro. We just couldn't smoke no weed, bro. They would just let us smoke. I probably would have never been red flagged at all. Now it's okay. They don't give a damn if they don't give a damn. You can show up, Ricky. You can show up to the stadium smelling just like it now. They don't give a shit. They don't give a shit, Keegan. when I was in college, bro. Oh man, listen. They had this shit called K2.
Oh boy.
K2 Spice. I'm gonna give you, man. Listen, you my dude, bro. I ain't never played. I ain't never lied to you about shit. I might just keep it real, bro. Fuck it. This shit needs to be talked about.
All right.
We couldn't smoke weed, right? So because it was a banned substance on the NCAA, whatever. So, right. But everybody, I'm gonna tell you right now, everybody smoke, bro. All of these athletes, they all do. Every last one of them. Your favorite one, the most noble one, they all do. Every last one of them do, right? Anyway. They had to figure out a way to pass the test. Guys were smoking synthetic weed, bro, called K2. It wouldn't show up on the test. CBD. You could buy the shit at the gas station.
Oh shit! So it's like Delta. It's like Delta.
It's worse. It's like some man-made bullshit. Delta is at least you can get Delta from the plant, right? Okay. So it's still weed, but it's like dumbed down to just the right amount to make it legal.
Right.
K2 is some whole different other shit, bro. Just different herbs and shit that they done mixed together and sprayed, or I don't know what they did, but the shit used to get you high 2 times. As soon as you hit it twice, your head get to spinning, bro. When I tell you, it was listen, and I ain't telling on nobody. I ain't saying no names. Matter of fact, I ain't do it. Okay, fuck it. I ain't do it either. Disclaimer, it wasn't me. All right, but I'm gonna just say, everybody was doing it, and it was terrible, bro. It was a pandemic. Damn it, it was a spice pandemic, bro. These motherfuckers, because then you look around, there's people overdosing on shit, passing out, dying over it. Like it was like, hey man, throw that spice away, bro. People were smoking spice. I've seen athletes smoking spice all the way up to my rookie year in the NFL, bro. Because even in the NFL, they didn't let you smoke weed, right? But they had these, so it was some guys smoking spice, bro. I seen it all. I'm like, hey man, look, it had to get to the point where as an athlete, you're gonna deal with all this shit. This is for all the young athletes growing up. You're gonna deal with this type of shit growing up. I'm not saying that you gotta do this shit, but it's gonna be put in your face, right? Right. You gotta learn now that your grind and your purpose is bigger than the temporary pleasures, right? You gotta be able to just be like, hey, look, I'm focused on what I'm focused on right now. It's a time and place for everything, but I won't allow this shit to get in the way of this is what's really important to me, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of where my mistakes were being made was, I wasn't doing enough. It wasn't enough. There was a clear imbalance.
Mm-hmm.
And I got it together at Ball State. It took me a little while though. Like I said, man, I had to go through my little trials and tribulations. I got arrested a couple times for some possession charges, man. But I wasn't finna be smoking no damn K2.
Right.
But eventually I had to get off of the weed too, man. My rookie year, I had to slow down. I mean, I figured out how to just, control my urges, bro. You know what I mean? I'm being real, bro. Like, I mean, it just is what it is, bro. It's documented. It's been said. I've gotten in trouble for. This was a thing in my career. Was cannabis was a problem? Okay, and I eventually got it together.
Yeah. No. Look, I wanted to add something real quick because I mean I appreciate your honesty. Like that is something that needs to be said. And that's why this platform was created, was because you want to be able to teach lessons to those that are going into that level or that phase of their careers. A lot of young athletes will listen to this podcast. But yeah, like that's something that they're gonna run into, in time. Like when you get to the college phase, that's going to be something that you have to navigate, being able to have balance. And I think a lot of people are just like, oh, like nowadays it's not as vilified when you talk about the usage of marijuana. Back then, before it was frowned upon in college and in the pros, just right around the time, you had I think you had just departed from the NFL. They were going into the phase of legalizing it, the usage and whatnot. But like, it's absolutely insane how far it's literally it's opposite of what we've been through. But
come on, man, it's different now. It's different. Somebody had to take the fall. We had to crawl for. I don't know what the hell they be talking about. Somebody had to be the fall guy. I don't know. I guess I just showed up a little bit too early, man. Damn, bro. I could have been smoking weed and making millions of dollars in college had I just been born 10 years later. Bro.
Oh, hate to see.
10 years later. We missed the boat, but it's cool, man. We had to do it, man. Somebody had to, we had to have the civil rights movement for us to be able to move forward as Black people. Damn it, I had to go through what I went through so y'all can smoke y'all weed and get NIL deals. It's all good. I just wish it was some type of reparations or something for everybody that ever got their character assassinated over the shit. You know what I mean? No, literally, bro. Literally, that's all they asked me coming out of the NFL draft was about drug tests and weed, and that was their main thing. It was just such a red flag for them. That's all they asked. Those were the questions. Like, what was the problem? Are you gonna be able to pass the drug test? Yeah, I'll be able to pass the drug test. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, like that. Yeah, man. So I had to go through the program. I had to go through the program my rookie year. I couldn't. They drug tested me every week.
I'm gonna be honest with you, J. I don't know if you know this, but I bet you 50% of the people in that room during your combine probably smoked weed at least once in their lifetime too. I'm just being.
They did way harder stuff than me. These guys snort cocaine, bro. Like they do hard, heavy drugs. I don't even, I barely drink. Like I'm not even that type of guy. I'm a naturally high. I could float off a natural high, but I realized like I was just having too much fun, bro, and like I just had to get my life in order and get a certain type of structure about myself. I realized looking back on my life, damn, I always needed structure because too much freedom is could be self-destructive for me. For some reason, I had to learn that the hard way. Now you can give me all the freedom in the world, and I still will choose to be just, hey, I'm chilling. You feel me? I'm chilling. I got the opportunity to go do something. I ain't even gonna do it. I'm chilling. You feel me? Because I know better now. So when you know better, you do better. They say, right?
Right. No. Did Ball State make you a leader? Did it bring out the best in you from an intangible standpoint?
I knew coming from Ohio State, I had this stigma on me, like I was, supposed to be the best thing walking on campus, right? I'm from Ohio State. I'm at Ball State. I need to make. I had this thing where it's like you need to make an impact because what is we talking about? Who gives a damn if you come from Ohio State? If you will come here and not do shit. So I was, as far as me being a leader, yeah, I had to I tightened down. I kept myself out the way, man. I didn't party much. I was football and chilling, bro. You know, they kind of let me do my thing. They looked out for me a lot. You know, I was kind of clowning a little bit when I first got there because I had to sit out that first year. We didn't have a they didn't have no damn transfer portal, bro. I had to sit out a year. Back when we transferred back in my day, look, I'm old as hell, Keegan. Back in my day when we transferred, shit, we had to sit out a whole damn year. What no damn transfer portal?
And they didn't give you no money. How about
And we
that?
ain't, man, come on, man. Come on, bro. Sit
I
here
mean,
eating that. They
week
was taking our money.
week 5 of the transfer portal, and I ain't getting 6 figures. I'm taking my talent somewhere else.
Man, come on, man. I wish, bro. I used to have to fight for my little Pell Grant or whatever the hell they was giving us. Because
Ah,
when I got the ball, even when I got the ball state, shit, they used the head. We would get a certain amount of money, but then we had to sign a paper where some of that money was paying for our meals and shit. I'm like, hold on, man. I ain't trying to eat none of this shit at the damn buffet. I can go eat. I can go to Walmart, go get me a couple of hungry mans. You feel me? I go get me a whole big ass box of ramen noodles, and I'm straight for the whole month. And I can pocket this 2,000, sir. So I didn't have to fight. I remember sitting in the hallway fighting from every dollar I could get out of college, bro. Like we was broke when I was in college. I used to have to go to the damn to the union or whatever, the school union, and try to get $200 this week. I gotta pay it back next week. I remember I was pawning shit. I used to pawn my game every now and again just to get a couple of dollars to eat, bro. Like,
yeah,
man,
man. Well, look,
so when
respect.
I got to the NFL, bro, I really didn't like. I think it's great now that they got NIL because at least when y'all go to the NFL, y'all done already been dealing with a bunch of money. Me, I went from straight broke to rich overnight. So it was just like
Insane.
it was insane, and I was just doing a lot of hood rich shit, man. Everything I ever wanted to do, I did.
Well, you talk about that. So, what was the process leading up from Ball State, getting into the NFL draft and preparing yourself? Because mentally, you're a 22, 23-year-old kid at the time. And for anybody, it's got to be like, holy shit, my life's about to change. I'm about to be a millionaire, especially. And honestly, Janu, I was looking at the scouting reports and everything. And I know that scouts, look, I'm in the same boat as you. Scouts don't really, I mean, some are accurate, but there's a lot that are just like they sit behind a desk and they type. They don't know how to do someone's job. I mean, we've had this conversation before.
Yeah.
So, like, they have a different perspective on things, but you kind of, and you defied the odds in a sense because you were projected kind of unrestricted, free agent. And
Uh-huh.
what I'm talking about, restricted free agent, undrafted free agent. That's what I'm trying to
Right,
say.
right.
Anywhere from 6 to free agent, and you end up going the 5th round, pick 166. Colts only had 5 picks that year. The five draft picks that year, one of 5. Oh, just take me through the process of preparing for the NFL Combine and wrapping your mind around like what is about to happen and what your expectations were for yourself going into the 2014 NFL Draft.
Well, it was my senior year, of course. So I was just trying to finish strong. I was trying to graduate, honestly, Brand. Like around the time that I was trying to focus on, what was next with football, I still had hella final exams and shit like that because I was graduating in December and the season was over at the same time that I was graduating. So I graduated. We had our ball game, and then from straight from the ball game, I didn't even go back to Indiana. I drove straight from the ball game down to Pensacola, Florida, and that's where I trained at for the draft down at St. Andrews or whatever it's called at Exos. You know what I mean? So I did my Exos program there for the combine, and I had to pick an agent. That was a cool process. They came, a couple guys came and talked to me, and shit, they paid for everything. And I mean, I was just enjoying the ride, bro. I didn't know what the hell, I didn't have no mentor or none of that, telling me anything. I could have, I don't know. I got a lot of resources, man. That was one thing I had to learn how to do was start using my resources because I'm more of a, just do it on my own, like figure it out type of guy. But
Right.
I probably should have used my resources a little bit more when it came to all the people I had in my business, honestly, man, from choosing an agent to financial advisors and shit like that. So there's just a lot of people coming at you from different angles about shit that I don't know nothing about really, bro. I'm just trying to play football. I'm Booby Miles. I just want to play football. You know what I mean? Y'all do all this other shit, building the brand and all that. I'm a dog, bro. I don't know. I've been playing football since I was 9 years old. I've always been good. Let me just go out here and play and do my thing and give me the check. You know, I like to keep everything real simple, right? But it was an interesting process, man. It was fun going to the combine. Met a lot of people. Came out and really showed out at the combine. That's really what put me on the radar. Is like I went out there and did my thing at the combine, bro. I didn't expect. I guess I did expect it because that's just like I've always had this chip on my shoulder where I feel like I've been underrated. You know, like where they just kind of overlooked me. Like you said, the scouts, bro. Like you said, I was a 3-star coming out of high school. I'm just like, bro, 3-star. Like,
stars don't matter at all. I just want you to know that.
Nah, they don't. But it was one of the things. Like growing up, you know, we talked about as kids. Like, damn, I'm a 4-star. I'm a 3-star. And like, I don't give a fuck. Like, you know, I go toe to toe with anybody out here. You know what I mean? With these pads, with these helmet and shoulder pads. Like when it comes down to it, like we can go dog for dog, but it's like. I don't know. I just feel like I got my respect, but I just feel like I was still getting disrespected a lot to where it's like you think this person is better than me, and I always had to prove to people, you know, that I was really like that. You know, whether it be a former team that I used to play for that gave up on me, or you know, going from Ohio State to Ball State, I showed them that I was really like that. Went to the NFL, they 5th round draft pick. I was told, so my agent was telling me I was going 3rd round. So you heard 6th round undrafted. I heard 3rd round. I was so when I didn't go 3rd round, I was pissed. I was pissed, man. And I was like, and then I was thinking to myself, I don't know what I'm gonna do if I don't get drafted. Like this is all I've been planning my whole life.
Right.
But it happened, bro. I remember the day I got drafted. It was just crazy. I was stressing because the rounds just kept going by. And I went in my mama's backyard and I just started running sprints and shit. And I just started doing gassers and I got in the shower. And then when I got in the shower, I had got the phone call, bro. I got a couple of phone calls, one from Coach Ginn. Ginn called me, said the coach was trying to draft me. They called him. That's how impactful Ginn is. The coach, they called him on draft day to call me. I'm like, damn, they ain't got my number? Shit. But yeah, bro, they called me and I got drafted and, you know, they was saying, you know, we want you to come in and, you know, be the next Robert Mathis and all that. I'm like, listen, bro, I'm just trying to be Jonathan Newsome. That's it. You know, it's great to be able to come in and learn under Robert Mathis. And, you know, I'm just kind of come in and try to be impactful in whichever way I can. I'm trying to get on that field whichever way I can. So it's never been about a specific position for me. When I was in high school, when I wanted to get on the field at Glenville, my first shot at varsity playing at Glenville was playing on the offensive line.
Yeah.
I had to play O-line. I had to play tackle, guard, and center.
You was a big fella, weren't you?
Man, not really. I was just skinny as hell on the offensive line, bro. But I had heart. You feel me?
I was great, man.
My heart. You can't measure that heart, okay? But seriously though, I didn't want to get some of the best D tackles in the world, man. I remember we played Long Beach Poly in high school, bro. Jarrell Casey was the defensive tackle. His man ran me. Man, our starting center went down.
Oh.
He went down, so I had to come in and play center against Jarrell Casey and Long Beach Poly, man. We held our own. We lost, but I held my own out there, man. I had to hold him a couple times. I remember I tackled that man one time. I'm like, hey, man, shit, get him down. I ain't no damn offensive lineman. But shit, you feel me? It was, hey, whatever I gotta do to get on the field is my point. You feel me? So that's the same attitude I took my rookie year going to the Colts. I'm just trying to do whatever I can do to get on the field. So I was balling on special teams. A couple guys got hurt, and my opportunity came, bro. And I just took advantage of every time I was on the game because I wasn't getting a lot of plays, bro. Like I was making plays, but I wasn't getting a lot of opportunities because I had all these other people in front of me.
You had, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong. So you had Mathis there, and I tried to go down so this way, I want to start kind of a 2-part here. First and foremost, I'm going to guess the people that called you were the names of I think Chris Ballard would have been the GM there, and Jim Irsay would have been Jim Irsay's been the owner for a minute, hasn't he?
No, so Ballard was not the general manager. It was Ryan Grigson was the general manager. Chuck Pagano was the head coach. No, you good. Shit. I mean, I'm just trying to, give you the correct information.
Sure.
So yeah, Ballard just got there probably like 5 years ago or something like that. Grigson was there. Grigson was there a few years before I got there. He drafted Andrew Luck, T.Y. Hilton, all them guys. So he had been, having hits in the draft. I was a hit in the draft. They would consider that because of my impact my rookie year, just coming off the bench. And like I said, bro, I wasn't even playing that much, bro. But my numbers were at the top of the league as far as production. So
yeah, and talk about the impact and so you guys went 11-5 your rookie season. You win the AFC South that year and make a deep run in the playoffs. But talk about your impact from start to finish. I think your first game was actually against these guys right back here. I remember you sacking Peyton Manning. So I mean, I love you, but that I probably didn't know you then. It pissed me off.
So when I got Peyton, that was actually in the playoffs. So that would have been later on that year. But that was our first game that year. We went to Denver. I feel like we lost that game, if I am mistaken.
Yep, did we lose that game? 31-24.
Yeah, we lost that game, man. It was crazy. But I remember getting in. That's when my reality set in. I just got a picture standing across from Peyton on the field, and I'm just like, my reality just set in. Like,
damn.
I'm in the game playing against motherfuckers I played Madden with y'all growing up. You know what I mean? Like I watched y'all as a child, and now I'm actually on the field playing with the greats. Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Ben Roethlisberger. I played against Michael Vick, bro. Like I tackled Michael Vick.
Damn.
That was like a hood dream come true right there. Like all my dogs, they like, hey, that's crazy. They're like, bro, you sacked Michael Vick, that's crazy, that's legendary. Man, it was a crazy rookie year, bro. Like I started off kind of slow for real, just trying to get to the speed. Really, I had to get to a comfortable weight. Because going into the thing with me has always been, I've been an underweight defensive lineman, edge player, underweight kind of guy. So they always wanted me to gain weight. Well, when I got to the league, that wasn't no problem, bro. Because I could I could eat as much as I want to. I wasn't in college no more trying to maintain weight. Shit, I can go to Roof Chris every damn night if I want to. We getting a check, right? Shit, I'm eating 3-4 times a day, and they feeding us. We had a good ass cook, man. His name was DeWitt, man. He was a good ass cook for the Colts, bro. This boy he used to hook us up, man. He used to send me home with food and shit. So I had put on about extra 15 pounds when I first got to the Colts. So I came in at like 245. I got up to like 260. Right. Imagine me 260, bro. You never said you know what I'm saying? Like 260. I'm looking like, I don't know. It just felt real disproportionate. It just didn't feel natural. I'm talking about I was maybe a few plays in the game, and I'm already like,
get me the out.
I'm tired, David. To the point where the GM actually walked up to me in practice and was like, "You all right? You slowed down a little bit. Did you gain too much weight? You're not looking like the guy we drafted." I'm like, "Oh, hell no." So I just started dropping weight. I dropped weight. I got down to about a good even 240. Yeah. At that point, I just started taking off. I was moving at a different speed. I was comfortable with the playbook. I had got enough practice in, so I really started making impact. I started getting sacks and I led the team in sacks that year. But it's so crazy. Everybody else played more than me. All the guys that I played with, they had more snaps in the game than me. But I had the most sacks.
Damn. So how did they divide it up when you were in the league? Were you I'm assuming you would have been in the defensive line room or what?
No, I was outside linebacker.
So playing outside linebacker.
I was projected to be a 3-4 outside linebacker.
Outside linebacker.
Yeah.
So when you go into that room, what are some of the names you're this is your day-to-day with these guys. Obviously, you said Mathis. I could have done more research on this room, but I know that the depth was there because obviously this was a dominant team, especially in 2014.
Yeah, we had some dogs on the team, man. We had some really good vets. I'm not gonna lie. We had some solid veteran leadership, which is kind of the role that I took on with Birmingham, these last couple of years, right?
Right.
I realized I'm one of them guys. Now coming into my rookie year, they used to look at me like I was a hothead. I mean, I didn't got into it with a few of them, but they were definitely my OGs. They looked out for me. So I'm gonna name them. Of course, Robert Mathis, DeQuell Jackson was our middle linebacker, and I love DeQuell because he played for the Browns most of his career, and I'm from Cleveland, so I knew who DeQuell was. Since I was a kid. I remember when DeQuell got drafted, so it was exciting playing with DeQuell Jackson. I told him, I'm like, bro, I've been a fan since I was a kid. But me and him even bumped heads a couple times. But we and him had the same age and shit. Like, he was really supposed to be big bro the whole time, but he cool, man. I rock with DeQuell, man. He good dude. Vontae Davis.
Yeah.
Vontae Davis, man, he was, all pro corner. Yeah, he was a dog. He was probably one of the top corners in the league at the time.
Played with D-Butt, didn't you?
D-Butt, yeah. He was the best slot corner. D-Butt doing his thing right now, too, on TV. Yeah, D-Butt my dude, man. That's my boy. Pat McAfee.
Shout out to D-Butt.
Pat McAfee. Yep. Pat McAfee was our kicker. Andrew Luck was the quarterback. We had Reggie Wayne. We had T.Y. Hilton. My boy, the other rookie we had, Dante Moncrief. He was doing his thing.
Fresh out of Mississippi. Wow.
We had Arthur Jones, which was John Bones Jones' brother. Chandler Jones' brother, Arthur Jones. He played for the Ravens. He had won Super Bowl with the Ravens, so he was a big name guy. A guy named Ricky Jean Francois. He was a solid defensive tackle. He was the reason I got a lot of my sacks, bro, because he was very finesse at the three technique. So he used to require a lot of help, which shortened the edge for me, which allowed me to, go. That's actually allowed me to go get the sack on Peyton Manning was Ricky Jean. I got to give Ricky Jean credit on that because he stepped into the B gap and the tackle had to step down and shorten the edge just enough where he was just too slow to get me. So we had Mike Adams. He's a coach now for the Giants, but Mike Adams, he's a safety. He was an undrafted guy, but played 12 years from the University of Delaware. Yep. Oh. Was he at Delaware? I think he was at Delaware. Mike Adams was a good dude, though, man. He was very influential to me as far as like getting into yoga and taking care of your body and stuff like that. So all that stuff that you saw me doing, like with the yoga and breathing and being in my zen and doing all the extra stuff to take care of my body, I learned that from Mike Adams.
I thought you were gonna bring like burning sage or something to practice and maybe a yoga mat. I was like, bro, you take like 20 minutes just to stretch. Like,
hey man, you gotta set your intentions for the day. Like I said, bro, it's been a journey, bro. Who I was, coming out of high school is definitely not who I am now, but it's still a big part of me, but just a way more mature, seasoned version. I done been through it. I done learned. I done lived. I'm just trying to keep getting better at this point and taking what I know and just making the right decisions. That's all.
Right. So pivoting real quick. So one question left with the league, and then we'll get into the CFL real quick. But I want to ask, when you watch other people's game, obviously the people on defense had a significant impact on you navigating your rookie year. Two questions, really. First, what is it like having a guy like Andrew Luck on your team? Because, I mean, he was a tremendous quarterback for his time, and obviously under Chuck Pagano, just his time in the league, although short, very, very, very. I mean, if he would have been playing now, God knows where the Colts would be, and God knows what the predicament would be or the circumstances. But we'll get to that in a second. But when you talk about your craft alone, I guess you can start with this. When you talk about your craft alone, who do you try to emulate your game after? Who did you try to really, look up to, even before you got to the league? Who was someone that you were like, you know what, I could, I take some of their game. Yeah. So I guess you can answer that, and then just kind of, I know it's talk about Andrew Luck. So yeah.
Well, as far as people, like I was always like a speed rusher type of guy. So guys I would like to watch were I like Von Miller. I liked DeMarcus Ware, Dwight Freeney, Robert Mathis,
Mm,
like guys, Jason Taylor,
mm.
John Abraham. It's a long list of guys that I mean, even it's like even though I don't, physically match up to this, but Julius Peppers, like guys like that, like Terrell Suggs.
He sizzle.
Yeah, man. I don't, even James Harrison for the Steelers. It's been quite a few guys that I've watched growing up that I kind of like, model my game off of, which is, just to go, 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 and then, quick twitch, and then, all of a sudden, bang, hit you with some power. So I'm a little bit of, all of that, but I just try to be me, honestly. Like I just try to play my game, and it's been good to me,
Right.
honestly. And
I,
but a guy like Andrew Luck, man, he was cool, bro. He was super cool. He always spoke to me in the weirdest place. I mean, it was always in the shower. I don't know why. Like we spoke more than just in the shower. But I remember we had our like most like our longest conversations. Pause was in the shower. Oh, like, bro, like it wasn't me. Like, it's just like I don't know if this is what he just like to have a conversation. Like, I just be showering. You feel me? I'm not trying to pay no attention to nobody. I really ain't trying to talk to nobody. But as you look, for some reason, if he happens to be in the shower next to mine or a couple spots away, hey, dudes, how you doing, man? You know what I mean? Where you living at? We just having, casual conversation. Just watching up and shit. I'm just like, all right, like, I would like to talk to you, just not right now. That's all. So. But hey, man, Andrew Luck was a cool dude, bro. He was very just polite, polite dude, just very good person. Somebody that you wanted to go out there and play for, man, just because he played very good. And, he was electrifying out there. Pagano was a hell of a coach, man. He was just such a player's coach. I just it felt good coming to work, man. Just Pagano, just cool as hell, just cool ass coach, bro. Just
that's
I,
all.
I felt like I felt like it was just, man. If we could have kept that thing going, man, it would have been a beautiful thing, man. We were one game away from the Super Bowl, and the game that we lost was the damn deflate
Like,
gate.
mother, God bless, bro. I didn't even think about that. I forgot that you guys were in that game. Maybe it's because I was too pissed about the game before, but
It
no,
was weird.
that deflate gate, bro. Do you
That
still?
shit was weird. It was weird as hell. Like it's because like I've heard the Patriots cheating and shit like that. Like I'm not sitting here trying to accuse them, but bro, I literally seen my defensive coordinator. He threw the headset down. He like, I don't even know what else to call. They were beating our ass so bad by the time the fourth quarter came around. But at halftime, bro, we were only down by like what 3-7, something like that. It was like 10 to, I don't know. It was like a one-score game, and we really came out on fire. We came out and got 2, 3 and outs, and then they punted the ball to Josh Pierce, and he muffed it.
Mm.
And then they scored, and then when they threw the ball, Tom Brady threw a pick to DeQuell, but when he caught it, that's when he realized like the ball ain't got no damn air in it. Like the ball squishy, it's too squishy. Bro,
Oh,
we couldn't hear shit on our headsets, nothing, bro. And that Patriots team was stacked, bro. They had so many players on their team. They had Darrell Revis over there just locking us down.
Gronk.
Their defense was kicking our ass, man.
Damn.
They were kicking our ass. They ended up kicking our ass. They had LeGarrette Blunt, Gronkowski. They schemed our ass up, man. The tackle scored a touchdown, bro.
Bro.
The offensive lineman scored a touchdown. They schemed us up that game. That was crazy. That game was fucking crazy. But yeah, man, it was a hell of a rookie year, and then sophomore year just just wasn't the same. Everybody dealt with injuries. It was a slow year. It was just a real 50-50, just shitty year. And then next thing you know, I had gotten to a situation, and then next thing you know, my time in the NFL was over at the moment, and my next opportunity came in Canada, and that was another life changing experience right there. So
you loved it.
Canada.
The 4 years that you was there, right? All three teams that you was there. We had these conversations. You talk about CFL. You said, man, I really did like my time up at the CFL. You talk about, the first team you played for was Saskatchewan, and then the last team, I think you played with BC most recently with the CFL. But before that, it was the Red Blacks, Ottawa Red Blacks. Yeah. So kind of briefly talk about that, and then we'll get into the USFL and close this one out.
So I ended up going to the Saskatchewan Rough Riders because I don't know if you remember me mentioning my good friend Marcus Hall, right? The one that Ohio State came to see at Glenville,
right?
And then they saw me. Well, he ended up going to play for the Saskatchewan Rough Riders. He actually was on the coach with me during preseason camp, but got cut. Then he went to Steelers, and then he ended up taking an opportunity in Canada after a couple of years of trying to get back in the NFL. So once he went up there, I'm like, shit, I'm about to just come up there, ball out. I'm going to go kill Canada, and then they'll want me back. That was my whole idea, was go up there, kill Canada. Me and my agent agreed, like, yeah, that would be a good idea, right? Mm-hmm. Went up there, and that was not the case exactly. It's just a whole different world. The CFL is the CFL. They don't really they're not in the bit like if you get an opportunity to go to the NFL, that's great, but really they want to keep talent up there, right? So when you come up there, like when I came up there, I was already a 2-year vet in the NFL, but in the CFL I was a rookie.
Right.
So I had to adjust my way of thinking. Mm-hmm. I'm a rookie all over again. And I mean, they got their own style of play up there. It was definitely an adjustment. I don't like the 3-down game or the fact that you got to be a yard off the ball. Yeah. There's certain things I don't like about the Canadian game. I'm not gonna lie. However, Canada, the country, best place I ever been in my life.
Talk to him, Jay New. Talk to him, brother.
It's the best place I ever been in my entire life. Canada's got it going on. Everything about Canada was great. From the food to the lifestyle, you feel me? Everything was just perfect. It was so good, man. I got married and had 2 kids in Canada, bro. Like literally my life was changing right before me. I went up there, me and my girl went up there together, and we just started a family. And I mean, I'm talking about I was ready to just stay abroad and never come back, bro. Then COVID happened. And that's really why I didn't go back to BC, because COVID happened and shut down the CFL. I went from Saskatchewan to Ottawa. That's when we got married and had our kids there. So really Canada was like, I'm playing football, but I'm just living, bro. I'm just up here living life, having a good time, and just creating a new way of life for me. Like, just this is my way of getting money up here. I'm meeting all new type of people, and it was a good thing, man. I became, very popular player up there. I had a lot of off the field, things going on in the community and stuff, and met a lot of people. But yeah, COVID was the reason I didn't go back to Canada, honestly, man. COVID shut down the world, and I wasn't able to go back across the border, and then they shut the whole season down in 2020. And then the next year they were bringing people back, but they were cutting wages. So financially, it didn't make sense. So I had just retired. I'm like, fuck it, I'm done. I retired. I said, yeah, man, fuck this shit, I'm done. I went and got my CDLs, bro. Because I'm one of the people that just like, look, man, I'm not about to keep waiting. I don't wait around. Even when I made mistakes, I wasn't waiting on Ohio State. I wasn't waiting on the NFL. You know what I mean? I wasn't about to wait on the CFL. I got to go get my CDLs, okay? And I'm about to. So I started driving dump trucks because I got a good friend that owned the biggest dump truck company in Ohio, in Indiana.
Right.
So I went and got my CDL, showed them I could do it. I'll just be proving to myself that I could do anything I put my mind to, bro. I'm like, fuck, because I just got to get some money. I got kids and a family to take care of. So shit, I need to figure out a way to keep this money rolling in. It's a certain number that I need to make. Because this is what I've been making, right? I can't get no lower than that, or it's just it just is what it is. So the CDL was bringing in good money. I ain't gonna lie, I was making about $35 an hour, double, and then time and a half. Anytime I went over 8 hours, so I was getting anywhere from $50 to $60 an hour.
Right.
Just driving a truck, but it was time consuming, and it's not what I planned on doing at the beginning of my life. Then it's not what I saw myself doing, but it was just, as a man, it was just something I just felt like I had to do, and I was cool with it. Shit, it's cool. I'm gonna make my bread. I'm gonna eventually get my own truck, and I'll be a trucker, I guess.
Oh yeah.
But then the USFL was becoming a thing. I was keeping up with the tabs. The XFL had happened, and then it had shut down, and the AAF had happened, and it had shut down. And I'm like, I wonder if any of these spring leagues ever gonna last. But then the USFL was coming around. I did my research on it, and I'm like, this shit look legit. Like it looked like it looked like they're gonna possibly be able to, they backed up by Fox Sports. I told my agent, I said, man, look into it, So he put my name in the draft pool. And shit, man, by God's grace, man, we had a guy named Bill Johnson, who was the defensive line coach our first year here in Saskatchewan, here in Birmingham. Mm-hmm. And Bill was the reason I got picked up, because he saw my film and he thought he could help me get back in the NFL. Bill didn't even know I had been out of football for almost 2 years. Bro. He's like, I thought you played last year. I'm like, nah, I'm just not coming up out of damn dump truck. Man, I was just trying to get. And I'm talking about, bro. When I got drafted, I didn't know. I was just playing it by ear. I really didn't think I was gonna get drafted. I thought I was just too old. They had somebody from the Breakers had called me and told me that it was gonna be tough for me to get picked because I was already 30 years old, and the league was looking to for younger players, pretty much guys that didn't get a chance to go to the league, and that they were kind of shying away from guys my age and older. I'm like, all right, well, shit, whatever, bro. I don't know what the hell you called me and told me that shit for. I'm looking for good news. Damn, you called me trying to shut down my dreams and shit, motherfucker. I just hung up. So, and then Bill called me, and he had complete opposite shit to say. He was excited. He said, I'm going to try to get you. He said, I think I can get you on the team or whatever. Birmingham actually gave up a pick later on in the draft, in the first draft, just so they can make a pick in the fourth round. They made an extra pick, and they picked me. So
that's cool.
It was cool, bro. I was like, damn, that's what's up, man. Like, I'm back playing football. I'm like, shit, the show goes on. So,
what was your expectations going into the first year of Birmingham?
Man, my own expectations, it was just like I had been out of football for 2 years, right? So I told myself if I ever was to play football again, that I was just going to try to do it the right way. That's all. My only goal was to go in and be the most professional player I could be.
Right.
That's it. I didn't care about no stats. I didn't care about getting back to the NFL, nothing like that. I just wanted to go in and prove that I could be a leader.
And you could still play at a high level.
And I can still play, of course. And it's just like, I knew I could still play. That wasn't no big deal to me. I had nothing to prove at that point. That was nothing. It was nothing to prove to me. I have the people in this league trying to do some shit that I already did, is how I looked at it. And not to toot my own horn, but it's like, y'all gotta, I'm this is spring. I'm a 10-year vet. The guys I'm playing with are 10 years younger than me. And they're not running fast. They're not running faster. They're not making this. They're not hitting harder. They're not as good. I mean, I'm just saying. But there are some really good players in there for USFL. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of good players. Shit. I mean, bro, like, I'm OG out there, bro. You're gonna get what you get out of me. Is what I tell people. You're gonna get what I give today. That's where it's at. I'm not dying for this shit, but I'm just saying, like, I'm just coming out here trying to be a good leader and show y'all how to take care of your body and how to show up and be a pro every day. And if that's my role on the team, bet I'll take it. Yeah. Now it turned out that I actually ended up being pretty impactful. You know what I mean? On and off the field. So it's just a good thing, bro. Just doing the right things and stuff. I challenged myself in ways that won't nobody really know, because it was personal for me. It was like, all right, let's see if you can do things a certain way consistently. and do it for a long time. Like, let's just do the whole season. Can you go the whole season and not smoke no weed? Can you go the whole season and make sure that you are on time to everything? That you don't give these coaches no reason to not trust you, that you're gonna know your plays and you're gonna work out every day and you're gonna get your rest and you're just gonna be a pro. So those are the ways I challenge myself over the last 2 years, and I did a great job, bro. We won 2 championships.
Absolutely. Defense wins championships, but more specifically, like when you, so people don't know this behind closed doors. I do. Luckily, I'm fortunate. I'm blessed. You guys' as dynamic as a defensive line is one of the, like, it is literally a frat. Like you come over to you 5-6 knuckleheads over there. Y'all are just shooting the shit. Like y'all are fun as hell to be.
With the soul of the team, bro. The soul.
Literally the funnest group of guys I've ever been around. I mean,
sure.
Timmy, Earl.
Sure. I say us and the DBs.
Yes, yeah.
Us and the DBs.
The linebackers got a pretty good case too.
Linebackers were pretty fun. The whole team, man. The whole team was a great group of guys, man. So I think that's the reason why we won all the games we did. I mean, we won. We only lost. So what? In 2 years, we lost what? 3 games?
Yeah.
Bro. We gelled quickly. Just everybody just enjoyed playing together, bro, and it happened.
Right.
Skip was a great coach.
Right.
I give credit to Skip for running the program the way he did. I mean, he didn't budge when guys complained about the schedule and all this other stuff. And the guys like myself and Brian Allen and any of the older guys, Scooby, whoever, we all, played a vital role in just, passing down the ways of the coach to the team, and it flowed perfectly. Like from the coach to the players, we all got along and we all loved being together and we enjoyed what we did, and it showed.
And that's the secret ingredient, really, for you guys winning the championship. But like you did it twice. I mean, you guys have already kind of cemented yourself and made the argument to be a dynasty of the modern USFL era. I can't thank you enough, Jnu, for wasting 2 hours of your time to be on this.
2 hours, man. Damn.
2 hours. 2 hours on this podcast.
Hey, bro, it don't never feel like that when you having fun, man. I didn't even feel like it was 2 hours. I feel like 30 minutes or something like that, man. I miss you, bro.
Hey, man, I appreciate you coming on. I got one more question for you.
Okay.
With the merger talk happening, we don't know what's happening. It's anything can happen at this point. What's your future look like with the USFL or the XFL or going forward? Really, just like what are your plans and your intentions as far as the game of football? You keeping it on the table or, just taking it day by day and seeing what God provides?
That second part.
Right there.
That's all you can do, man. That's all you can do in life, right? I mean, you can have a plan. You can have goals and stuff, but ultimately, life is 90% what happens to us and how we react, right?
Right.
So I'm just, day by day, I'm gonna respond when the time comes. We'll see what happens, man. As of right now, I'm a free agent, so we'll see. We'll see what goes on, man. We'll see if there's another opportunity to either reunite with Birmingham or possibly they'll have to see me on the other side. So,
Oh, we'll see. But hey, man. Can't thank you enough. I appreciate you sitting down, talking shop with me. Go get yourself a cold one. Go take a nap. Do whatever. Thank you very much. You've been listening to the Strive Sports Podcast, episode 8. Take care, Jnu. Thank you, buddy.
Appreciate you.